even though Discovery Point is in the middle of a neighborhood, we actually get a lot of deer and rabbit coming onto our site. So when we were planning the restoration of this area, taking out buckthorn and invasive species, we actually found a remnant of a small population of wild ginger and other spring ephemerals, or flowers that bloom before the leaves come out in the summertime and then they die again in the heat of summer. So we wanted to protect them and also to see what kind of an impact deer browse, or deer eating, had on all of the restoration plants that we have here. So we created what's called a deer exclosure. It excludes deer. It keeps them out of a certain spot. So with this here, deer cannot jump over the fence. They can't go under, obviously, and we also have a little bit of rabbit protection too. So let's go see what is inside and how it differs from the bergamot explosion that's happening out here in the rest of the restoration. So here's the doorway. Members of the public are welcome to come in and check it out, but please just remember to close the door behind you, otherwise it defeats the purpose of having a deer exclosure. So it's just a simple latch here, and push it open. Sometimes it gets stuck. You have to push a little bit hard. Come on in. So I'm seeing a lot of really cool spring ephemerals still, even though it's tending towards summer now when we're filming this. I see a lot of jack-in-the-pulpit. Try not to step on it here. And that is this three-leaved plant. Now I know what you're thinking, leaves of three, let it be. But actually there are a lot of plants in Minnesota that have three leaves and are not poisonous or toxic like poison ivy is. So this is jack-in-the-pulpit. The leaves look quite different from poison ivy, and it has a really interesting little flower that's just starting to die here, and this will produce red fruit in the late summer. Don't eat the fruit though, leave that for the wildlife. I'm also noticing the patch of ginger right here, wild ginger, different from the culinary one, but still really interesting to see. And this is part of the larger patch that we were trying to protect. So these heart-shaped leaves, if you know what to look for, you can kind of see them all over the place in here. There's some down in the middle by this dead tree, and there's little patches of it that just kind of flow all the way to the fence lines all throughout here. And then I also see some Solomon seal right over here. And my apologies, this may actually be Solomon's plume. These are plants that I have not quite yet learned to identify down to species, but they do have a really interesting flower, and they are part of a healthy native woodland understory. And there are still a few invasive species in here, like buckthorn, narrowleaf bittercress, some garlic mustard, and we're working to try and manage those plants inside the deer exclosure as well as outside. That's just part of the process of managing a big landscape like this. We're not going to get rid of all of the invasives, we just manage them in numbers so that they don't take over the space and we can have a large, diverse amount of different types of plants.